All right. Okay, we are recording. So welcome everybody. This is personal finance, and this is your Mr. Hancock, your teacher speaking. Um, Hopefully everybody had a good weekend, and you're kind of getting into the course. I understand it may be a little different at first to figure out what each teacher expects and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very lenient on due dates and that kind of stuff when it comes to the very first of the term. I actually did put in a bunch of zeros today right before this class, so you may want to check. I know also a lot of people have been having tech issues today. I have as well. Unfortunately, in my videos I was going to show, I'm going to try to screen share and see if that will they will play, but not sure that's going to completely happen. So we'll just kind of see how this lesson goes and where it kind of takes us. Um, we're not going to go over a ton today. Just kind of see where you're at and where you need to go. A couple of just classroom expectations as we're in here. If you'll just kind of follow along as we're going, stay active. It says use your pointer to follow along, but really it just basically means using your eyes to stay on topic and not get distracted by your phone or anything else that's nearby. There is a raise your hand feature here, so if you do have a question, please feel free to raise your hand and I will make sure I call on you and everything that you get your questions answered. You can also put them into the chat box. Hello, welcome, thank you for coming. Um, Also respond to questions, put them in the chat, that kind of stuff. At some point in time, once I learn Neuro a little bit better, we may do some reading and that kind of stuff if you feel comfortable doing that. There is not an away button yet, but I heard there's going to be for for this. So if you need to step away, I understand things come up. Um, Mine are mostly my kids, so if they come running in and disrupt everything, but you need to push away, you can always jump away real quick. Then also just be respectful in the chat and everything so people feel comfortable and we have a safe environment here. All right, so where should you be in the course right now? Okay. Have I graded? No, I have not graded anything there. So that's where I'm going over right now, at least. So let me screen share. I have not done this yet, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. Can you see? Oh, let's just do an application window. All right. Are you able to see my screen right now? It probably looks all funny. Oh, now I can't see the chat at all. Yes, okay, good. All right. So this is your course when you log in. You can kind of see some events that are coming up when things are due on the side here to the left. And then also I always put up our recording. So last week's recording, if you were to miss it, it would always be posted in the class announcement page right here. If you go over to plan, you hit that plan button, it's going to pop up a calendar. And this is where you kind of need to look at of when things are due. So last Friday, Module 1 and Module 2 should have been done. And then this Friday, Module 3, Module 4. So what that looks like, I should have had this open before, I apologize. Hopefully it will load semi-fast. Okay, so right here, you have all your units. So Module 1, 2, and 3 are in Unit 1. So you should be done with Module 1 and Module 2. So once you look at those, and those aren't coming up very nicely. Oh, there we go. So there should have been 3 quizzes you took in Module 1 and 2 quizzes in Module 2. If you have not done that yet, it's okay. You still can go back, do it. Remember, the one thing about quizzes and stuff is you can do them as many times as you would like to get the desired score that you want. Okay. You haven't gotten very far in the that's all right. There's definitely time to catch up and get going there. So let me see if there's any questions here. Okay, I don't see any so far. Okay. All right, moving on. So we talked about that, where you should be in the course. Okay, so remember how the course layout is. You watch a video, and then you take a quiz. So what we're going to do is I'm hoping, cross my fingers, let's see if it will work. It wasn't working before, the video feature, but I may just share my screen and see if it'll work that way. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping it works. That's my technology things today, so we'll see. So let me know if you can hear this. Nope, there's an error, of course. I figured that's what it was going to be. Okay, all right, so I'm actually going to now, let me share my screen again, and then I'm going to see if you can hear the video as I do that. We'll test that out. All right. So you should be able to see my screen now. And I'm going to go over to this video real quick. And I'm going to play this one. So I'm going to play it for a second. I'm going to stop it. And you let me know if you can hear the audio. All right. Are you able to hear it? No, you weren't able to hear it? No. Dang it. Okay. All right. Let me stop screen sharing real quick. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw out the video to you real quick. And then I'll have you guys watch it, and then we're going to come back and discuss it, okay? So, all right. So that's the first video, and that's actually video, I think 3.06 that we talked about. So go, I will give you a couple minutes. Well, let me see how long it is. Looks like it's 2 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss that, okay? So go ahead and watch that. And then for those of you who just came in, if you get in the chat link, we got a video we're watching. Unfortunately, it's not letting me show it to you. You guys are going to watch that, and then we're going to have a little discussion on what your short-term financial goals that you have. Already muted, but thanks a lot.
At least you have old enough kids who can do that. Me, I'm just like, sorry, ask your mom.
All right. Have you guys been able to watch the video yet? You just let me know in the chat. That'd be fantastic. You're still watching? Okay, I'll give you a little bit longer. Just let me know when you're done. If you just type in the chat there, then I'll know we're good to move on. All right. Looks like a lot of you guys are done watching that. So in that video, and if you haven't watched it, just finish it up real quick, or you can kind of stop it right now. So in that video, kind of talked a little bit about short-term, medium, and long-term goals. So I know you guys are just young and planning out what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, but uh, why don't you write down real quick for me in the chat, what are some short-term financial goals that you have? So remember, a short-term goal would be about anywhere from about 1 to 2 years. What are you looking to accomplish financially? And I could give you let me give you some examples too. Okay, here's it. Getting a better voice acting equipment. Oh, perfect. Okay, because that might be something that'll financially. Getting a car, that's fantastic because that's something that can get you to a job, that kind of stuff. Have at least 20,000. Wow, that's a good save up there where you can most. If you look at the statistics, most people don't have $20,000 in a bank account or could get $20,000 off there. Getting a better computer, that's a great one because that can help you make money, learn that kind of stuff. Uh, Saving money from every paycheck, very good. Just little by little, it always helps. Um, Yours is embarrassing. You won't say, it's whatever it is. You don't have to say. That's fine. But as long as you have those goals in mind, right? That's what we want you to be thinking of. Buying a $300 watch, okay? Well, you better be on time for things if you're going to buy a $300 watch, for one. Um, Second off, right? I would look at to see if that money might be better placed somewhere else, right? Uh, and that might be the place where you put it, right? If you feel that that is something that's going to progress and that kind of stuff. Make sure all your needs are met first. No problem. It's fine. The recording will be on the OLS after we're done. Okay, getting better painting tools and easel. Yep, that could get you in a better career, that kind of stuff. Getting a car. Yep, we talked about that as well. To get better art supplies, a car, college, computer, as well as voice acting supplies. Yep, those are all very good ones. Toon Boom Harmony. I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully that's maybe something that can help you get better at something where you can make more money and that kind of stuff. Okay, you have a lot of plans. Very good. All right, so at least it seems like you guys are thinking about what you need to do, right? Um, some things that you need to. So we've already watched that 3.06. That's what this video was. So you can go on and be able to take the quiz for that as well. Uh, so we've kind of already done that. Also, I failed to mention in this class, you can always go ahead if you'd like. You don't have to keep pace with us. But if you want to keep pace, we'll have just some discussions in class similar to this each week. Okay, let's go to our next little thing. Okay, we're going to watch another little video, but let me throw that video link out there. This is, I think this is 4.08, but I'm going to have you guys watch this video as well. This one is about 3 minutes long, so it's a little bit longer, but I'll have you watch the video, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about understanding the cost of living, okay? Because some of you may be wanting to escape good old Utah, which is completely fine. It's, you know, grass isn't always greener on the other side, but there's some very beautiful places out there. But we'll talk about if you're looking to move to a different area, what some things that you need to think about. So I'll give you about 3 minutes to watch that video, and then we'll come back and actually I'll show you a little calculator thing that you can calculate where you want to live. So please go and watch that for the next 3 minutes. Hey Nathan, I saw your comment. Are you talking about watching the video or doing the quiz? I know there's been some tech issues today. The quiz, okay. Um, I would do it a little bit later. There's just been a lot of issues. They had some updates over the weekend and they didn't take too well, so they're trying to fix kind of everything. So I maybe would do it maybe later today or something like that. For those that are watching the video, are you about done? Okay, we got some that are done. I'll give you guys a little bit more time to finish that up, and then we're going to talk a little bit about cost of living and go from there. All right, looks like a lot of us are getting done now, so thank you for letting me know on that. Uh, what we'll do now, let me go to this next page. So there is, and I'm going to throw it out to you guys as well, this website. It's called NerdWallet.com. Kind of funny. Um, but what it does is has a, a calculator to show what your cost of living would be for living somewhere else. So I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully this works out okay again. Um, okay, and I'm going to it right here. So I'm hoping you can see my screen, but it's pretty easy to kind of navigate. So it's where you currently live. So I'm going to find Utah here because we are in Utah, and I'm actually up by the Ogden area, and they have that listed. So let me just type in Ogden, Utah. Okay. All right. So let's just keep the same household income of $50,000. If you knew what that was, that would be good to fill out. But since most of you probably are not working full time or anything like that, it's not really applicable. But we'll say about $50,000, which is about an average household income. So if we're saying the quality of life that we're living right now, okay? So think about the quality of life you're living. So if you have multiple cars in your house, if you own your house, if you're renting, all that kind of stuff, what would it be compared to other places? So if you look down here, it says San Francisco, you'd have to make $105,000 to be comparable to what your income is there, right? If you're in Los Angeles, 77,000, Miami, 60,000, New York, you'd have to make 133,000. But you can kind of go here and say, okay, well, if I wanted to move to Anchorage, Alaska, let's try that, okay? So basically in Anchorage, if I were to live in Anchorage, I'd have to make 64,000, almost $65,000 to have the same quality of life that I would have for there. If you can look, the rent for a two-bedroom apartment in Ogden is about $1,075 a month. The median home price is 250,000. In Anchorage, it's over half a million for the average home price. Rent is about 1,200, right? And so you can kind of look here as well, like what transportation is 13% higher. Cost of food, because they have to ship it in to Alaska, is 42% higher. Entertainment, 7% higher. Healthcare is 48% higher, okay? So it is cheaper to live in Utah than it is there. But everybody wants to move to Hawaii, so let's look at Hawaii, right? Honolulu. Okay. So Honolulu is an expensive place to live, as you can see here. So if we wanted the same quality of life on a $50,000 income, you'd be $105,000 that you would need to make. It's 112% higher. As you can see, food cost is significantly more higher because you have to have it shipped in to the islands. Home prices, the average home price over there is uh, almost 1.5 million, um, which is pretty crazy. So, I mean, you can kind of see if you want to live in Hawaii, I mean, your jobs, you probably pay a little bit more in Hawaii, but you need to be careful before you just pick up things and move somewhere. So I thought that was kind of interesting to be able to show you on that end of things. So, all right. So where was that? I noted this. Where's Japan? They actually don't have Japan on here. This is only in the United States, I believe. But you could look for similar things like that on there. So what I'd want you to do sometime, is take some time, look at that. Is there anything? 'Cause I threw out the link to you guys. Is there anybody that did that had a place they wanted to live, and was it higher or lower? You can put that in the chat. Just kind of put the city you want to move to, possibly, and if it was higher or lower. Okay, you want to move outside the U.S. Okay, so it depends on where you. I mean, you can really, really cheap places outside the U.S., but very expensive places too, right? So I lived in the United Kingdom for a while, and I would go down to McDonald's because every place has McDonald's, right? Instead of having a dollar menu, they had the pound menu, and on the pound menu, um, it was at that time the exchange rate was $2.50 to a pound. So if I wanted to get two things basically off their pound or dollar menu, it would have cost me $5. So pretty crazy. Ellie, did you mean you lived in the UK for a little bit? Is that what you said? All right. Anybody want to share where they want to move and if it's higher or lower than lived in Amsterdam before? Very cool. Oh, you want to move to the UK. Okay. Anybody want to move somewhere else in the United States? Okay. Did you do the cost analysis? Kind of see how more expensive it would be? Guess it said Washington. I want to move there. Nope, doing it right now. Okay. Very good. Chicago's about 50% higher. Yep. Cold winters there, man. Oof. Chilly, chilly. They don't call it the Windy City for nothing. All right. It's 10% lower in North Carolina. All right. Yeah, some of those states in the South, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Georgia, um, Florida. Some areas in Florida are lower, but those places seem to be very low. Tennessee's pretty low. Um, if that's a place you're thinking of. So very cool. Well, let me see here. I think that was all we were going to go over today. So, do you guys have any other questions about the course? What you need to do? Remember how to get your grade as you go in. Watch the videos, take the quiz. If you don't do well in the quiz, you can always rewatch the video again and take the quiz again, and just get caught up. No exit ticket. I need to start making those, but I haven't. Probably should have done it off our cost estimator there, but anyways, you guys have an awesome day. I'll stick around if you guys have any questions or comments. And I'm gonna stop recording. So thanks. Yep. See ya.